Confused by Claude Code terminology? Agents, subagents, skills, hooks, MCP, sessions, checkpoints, fast mode. What does it all mean? In the next 22 minutes, you'll understand every single term. No jargon left behind. Let's demystify everything. First, what exactly is Claude Code? Claude Code is Anthropic's official command line interface for Claude. Think of it as having a senior developer sitting right next to you in your terminal. It can read your code, write code, run commands, search the web, and even create pull requests. Unlike the web interface, Claude Code works directly with your file system. It sees your entire project. It can run tests, execute builds, and interact with Git. It's Claude, but supercharged for coding. Models are the AI engines that power Claude Code. Think of it like choosing which brain to use. You have options like Sonnet for everyday tasks, Opus for complex reasoning, and Haiku for quick, simple responses. Each model has different strengths. Sonnet is the default, offering a great balance of speed and intelligence. Opus is the most powerful, perfect for complex debugging or architecture decisions. Haiku is the fastest and cheapest, ideal for simple tasks. You can switch models mid-conversation using /model or the -- model flag. The model you choose affects both the quality of responses and the cost. Choose wisely based on your task complexity. Now, let's talk about agents. Think of agents like specialized team members. Instead of one person trying to do everything, you have specialists. A plumber for plumbing, an electrician for electrical work. In Claude Code, agents are specialized AI instances that handle specific tasks. There's an explore agent that's great at searching codebases, a plan agent that designs implementation strategies, a bash agent for running commands. When you give Claude Code a complex task, it can spawn these subagents to handle different parts. For example, if you ask Claude to refactor authentication, it might use an explore agent to understand the current code, a plan agent to design the new approach, and then execute the changes itself. The key insight is delegation. Subagents work autonomously on their assigned tasks and report back. It's like having a small team, not just one assistant. Subagents are specialized AI assistants that handle specific tasks within your session. Think of them as calling in specialists. The Explore agent is fast and read-only, great for searching and understanding your code base without making changes. The Plan agent gathers context before presenting a plan, perfect for research tasks. The General Purpose agent has full capabilities for complex multi-step work that needs both reading and writing. You can create custom subagents with /agents, defining their own prompts, tool access, and even which model they use. Here's the key difference from teammates. Subagents run within your session and return summaries, while teammates run in parallel in their own sessions. The task tool is how Claude Code delegates work to specialized subagents. Imagine you're a manager with expert employees. Instead of doing everything yourself, you assign tasks to specialists. That's exactly what the task tool does. Claude can spawn subagents for specific tasks. Explore agents search the codebase quickly. Plan agents design implementation approaches. Bash agents run commands. And general purpose agents handle complex multi-step operations. Each subagent works independently and reports back results. This is incredibly powerful for large tasks because multiple subagents can work in parallel. The main Claude agent orchestrates everything, delegating work and combining results into a coherent response. Tools are the capabilities that let Claude interact with your system. Think of them as different arms or hands that Claude can use. Read tool reads files, write tool creates files, edit tool modifies files, bash tool runs commands, grep tool searches content, glob tool finds files by pattern. Each tool has a specific purpose and Claude chooses the right one for each task. When you ask Claude to fix a bug, it might use read to understand the code, edit to fix it, and bash to run tests. Tools can be restricted through permissions. Some tools like WebFetch access the internet. MCP tools connect to external services. Understanding what tools are available helps you work more effectively with Claude. Next up, skills. If agents are your team members, skills are their recipe books. A skill is a predefined workflow for handling specific tasks. Think of it like teaching Claude a specialized procedure. For example, A commit skill knows exactly how to analyze changes, write commit messages, and create pull requests. A code review skill knows the checklist to follow when reviewing code. Skills contain domain knowledge, they're reusable, and they help Claude perform consistent, high-quality work on repeated tasks. You can even create custom skills for your specific workflow, like a skill for your company's deployment process or your team's testing standards. Commands are the shortcuts. When you type a slash followed by a word like slash commit or slash review, you're invoking a command. Think of commands like speed dial on your phone. Instead of explaining what you want every time, you press one button and Claude knows exactly what to do. Commands trigger skills behind the scenes. Slash plan activates the planning skill. Slash TD starts the test-driven development workflow. They save time and ensure consistency. The most common commands include slash plan for designing approaches, slash commit for creating Git commits, and slash review for code reviews. Rules are your house rules. They're guidelines that Claude follows in every session. You define them in special files, with Claude.md being the most important. Think of Claude.md as your project's instruction manual. It tells Claude your coding standards, your preferred libraries, your file structure conventions. For example, you might specify always use TypeScript, follow this naming convention, or don't use emojis in code. Rules can be global, applying to all your projects, or project specific in your repositories Claude.md. They ensure Claude works the way you want, respecting your team's standards. Permissions control what Claude can and cannot do in your project. Think of it like a security guard checking IDs. Claude asks for permission before performing potentially risky actions like running commands, editing files, or accessing the internet. There are different permission modes. In default mode, Claude asks before each action. In YOLO mode, Claude can act without asking. You can also grant specific permissions for certain patterns. The settings.json file stores your permission preferences. You can allow certain commands globally or just for the current project. This safety system ensures Claude never does something you don't want, while still being powerful enough to help with complex tasks. Fast mode and auto accept let you trade control for speed when you trust Claude's judgment. Toggle/fast for quicker responses when you need rapid iteration. Press shift plus tab to cycle through permission modes. Auto accept, plan mode, and normal mode. Auto accept mode skips approval dialogues for file edits, so Claude can make changes without asking each time. For the brave, there's YOLO mode, also called bypass permissions. This skips all permission prompts. Use with caution. The key is knowing when to use what. Auto accept for trusted tasks, plan mode for safety, and remember, you can always rewind if something goes wrong. Hooks are automatic triggers. Think of motion sensor lights. You walk into a room, the light turns on, no button pressing needed. In Claude Code, hooks fire when specific events happen. There's session start hooks that run when you begin a session, maybe loading context from a memory file. Tool hooks that trigger before or after Claude uses a tool, like running linting after every file edit. And compaction hooks that manage context when memory gets full. Hooks automate repetitive actions. They enforce rules without you having to remember. For example, a hook could automatically check for secrets before any Git commit, or log all AWS commands to a file, set it once, forget about it. MCP stands for Model Context Protocol. This one's powerful. Think of MCP as a universal adapter. You know how you need different chargers for different devices? MCP is like one charger that works with everything. MCP lets Claude Code connect to external services and tools. GitHub, Figma, Supabase, databases, APIs. Instead of Claude trying to figure out how to use each service differently, MCP provides a standard way to communicate. You set up MCP servers, which are like plugins. Each server gives Claude specific capabilities. A GitHub MCP server lets Claude create issues and pull requests. A Figma MCP server lets it read designs. A database MCP server lets it query your data. The beauty is standardization. One protocol, infinite connections. MCP turns Claude Code from a coding assistant into an integrated development companion. The context window is crucial to understand. Think of it as Claude's desk space. Imagine your desk can only fit a certain number of papers. Once it's full, you have to remove something to add something new. The context window is how much information Claude can hold in its working memory at once. This includes your conversation history, the files it's read, and its responses, measured in tokens, which are roughly pieces of words. More context means Claude remembers more of your conversation and project details, but there's a limit. When you hit that limit, Claude has to start forgetting earlier parts. This is why long sessions sometimes lose track of earlier instructions. Understanding context helps you work more effectively with Claude.